So, the Percy Jackson casting for season 1 is complete. From the main cast, to side characters, to monsters, and all the way to the gods. We got some crazy castings, bro. So let's talk about it, shall we? Let's start with everyone's favorite character. Obviously the one, the only, Gabe Ugliano. So we got Timm Sharp playing as Smelly Gabe. This character sucks. Like, think pizza level of suck. Just a greasy, messy slop of indescribable, inedible garbage. Sorry, I got sick from Pizza Hut once, never went back. Anywho, sure, Timm Sharp seems like a swell pick for Smelly Gabe. Next up on the list, we got Suzanne Cryer as the monster Echidna. Again, not a huge character in the series, but that St. Louis arch scene where Percy just swan dives like 5 million feet from the arch to escape Echidna is absolutely goated of a scene. So yeah, I can't wait to see Echidna finally in live action, as a certain movie seemed to not want to include her. Next up, we got Jessica Parker Kennedy as Medusa. I know she's like a bit of a popular actress from the Flash TV show, but I've never actually watched the Flash TV show, even though my friend keeps telling me to check it out. So yeah, but she seems like a very talented actress. Plus, Medusa is meant to be like a knockout, literally and figuratively. So Jessica definitely fits the bill. Too bad her head is gonna get cut off. Alright, next up, we got Megan Mullally as Electo, or better known as Mrs. Dodds. So this lady is going to be that crazy monster in disguise as a teacher and tries to eat Percy's liver type of character. And I must say, she definitely gives off those vibes. I feel like I just insulted her, but I don't mean it like that. But yeah, Megan is a great pick. No complaints. Alright, next we got Virginia Kull as the legendary Sally Jackson. Sally is just a friggin' goated character, man, so whatever Virginia's acting is like on The Greatest Mother in all of fiction, I'm down for it. Actually top tier character. Okay, next up on the list is Jason Mantzoukas as the god Dionysus, and goddamn is he a god, cause this is kinda perfect casting, not gonna lie. Jason looks almost exactly like how Dionysus looks like in the books, and there's a character who Jason plays as in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, another show I haven't watched, I'm sorry. And that character is kind of like Dionysus. So I'm definitely sold on this casting. Can't wait for him and Percy to be pissed off at each other for like the entirety of the series. Alright, next up we got Glynn Turman as our friendly neighborhood Chiron. This caught me off guard just a bit, because Chiron has always been depicted as like this Jesus looking guy as a half horse, you know what I mean? But besides that, this man definitely got that elder wise monk type aura, if you know what I mean. Definitely seems like a guy who has run a camp full of scarred for life children for the past millennia. And I mean that in a good way, of course. Okay, now we're getting into the fun castings. First up, Timothy Omundson as the god Hephaestus. Fun little fact, Hephaestus doesn't actually show up in the first book of Percy Jackson, and you know, this season of the show is following the first book. So I'm not actually sure where Hephaestus is gonna come in, but nevertheless, this is quite the fire casting, I must say. Timothy definitely gives me that broken and kinda sad vibes. Okay, I'm sorry, I swear I mean it in a good way. Hephaestus has some great moments with Percy later on in the series, so whatever we get from him in season 1, I'm all for it. It's also Leo Valdez's dad. Hell yeah! Speaking of goated characters' dads though, Jay Duplass as Hades. Yes sir, we're meeting Nico D'Angelo's dad. With Jay's casting as Hades, honestly you're just gonna have to wait and see, cause Percy describes Hades as the first god he's met that looks like an actual godly god to him. So I'm actually hyped to see how they dress up Jay to make him look like this menacing godly god. Also his performance is gonna be very important because Hades is honestly one of the nicest gods we meet in Percy Jackson. I mean he ain't no sunshine and rainbows, but he's definitely more reasonable than most of the gods. Dear lord, why do the gods suck? So I'm also hyped to see that portrayal of Hades. Next up, now this one's a really cool one. Lin-Manuel Miranda as Hermes. What? This is probably the biggest celebrity to appear in this show so far. And honestly, I'm super stoked to see this. Hermes has some awesome scenes with Percy in the series, so I'm fully down for this casting. Like Hephaestus though, Hermes doesn't appear in book 1 of Percy Jackson, so I ain't sure where we're gonna see him in season 1. But I mean, Lin-Manuel Miranda as Hermes? Come on man, that's awesome. Alright, next up on the casting, we got Adam Copeland as Ares. This is just great casting, bro. Adam is a freaking professional WWE fighter. I mean, also, the guy definitely got the looks for Ares, and he's got a combat-oriented career. I don't know, man. Adam seems like he was born to play Ares. Also, the fight between him and Percy? Dear lord, I am not ready. Great casting. So stoked to see his performance. Alright, now next up, we got Lance Reddick as Zeus. Honestly, kinda goated casting. I mean, the way this guy talks is just Zeus, man. Lance also seems like quite quite the talented fellow. So I'm actually pretty damn excited to see the Zeus this man will bring. He's also another god who's gonna hate Percy for the entire series. Let's go! Alright, the last god I'll be talking about is with Toby Stephens, playing as Poseidon, aka Percy's dad. Honestly, another just downright good casting in my opinion. He definitely looks like Percy's dad. I hear he's a very talented actor, and from what I see, he got that beach father energy very nice. Toby Stephens has got some real Poseidon vibes. Now we're getting into the really, and I mean really fun castings. Starting with Dior Goodjohn as the daughter of Ares, Clarice LaRue. Let's go, man! First and foremost, great to see Clarice actually show up in the first season. Second most? Is that a phrase? I never really heard it be used. Dior is a bit different than how Clarice is described in the books. She's like this bodybuilder who had this stuff you in a locker and leave you to die vibe. And Dior is definitely different from that look, but still, I'm very excited to see her performance. Cause Clarice is quite the awesome character, guys, especially later on in the series. So if Dior can portray this awesomeness, then I'm sold. So yeah, definitely hyped to see Dior kick some ass. Next up, Charlie Bushnell as the man, the myth, the legend, Luke Castellan. Luke is by far one of the best, if not the best villain in the Percy Jackson franchise, hands down. So I'm down to see what Charlie brings to the table. I'm not gonna lie though, I've never actually seen any of Charlie's work, so I ain't sure what of his skills. But if this man can play the, "Oh, I'm totally your friend, Percy, don't worry, I'm never gonna betray you and try to start a war with you and hurt everyone you love near and dear and make you suffer" kind of character, then I'm in. Alright, now we finally made it to the main trio. Here we go, ladies and gents, starting with Aryan Simhadri as the GOAT, literally and figuratively, Grover Underwood. Absolutely hyped to see him playing Grover. Grover in the Percy Jackson movies was done dirty, fam. Like, dear God. So yeah, Aryan seems like a great choice. I can't wait to see him, Percy, and Annabeth with their chemistry together. That, in my opinion, will make or break the show. Speaking of Annabeth, however, next up on the trio casting we got Leah Jeffries as the badass Annabeth Chase. Kinda like some others on this list, I've never actually seen any of Leah's movies. I know she got some popular ones and I heard she's really good in them, but yeah, I've never actually seen them. Look at me coming prepared for this video, let's go! I also know people were confused on this casting because Annabeth is white skin and blonde hair in the books and Leah is dark skin with dark hair, but like, it's chill. Just excited to see Annabeth actually hopefully written like Annabeth. Bro, this is golden. Now, finally, we come to the last of the trio, the main boy himself, Percy Jackson, played by Walker Scobell. Okay, so this is probably my favorite casting on the list. So I've actually checked out two of Walker's movies, The Adam Project and Secret Headquarters. Secret Headquarters was alright, the writing was a bit not my taste. However, The Adam Project is where you really see Walker shine as a Percy Jackson-esque character. But it's quite clear in that movie that Walker's got the sass, the energy, and even the raw emotion to play such a simple yet complex character for Percy Jackson. Bro, Walker is even a fan of the books, which if you ask me is something we desperately need for this show, because the movies clearly had no fans of the books on the team, which is probably why they were made the way they were, and why they have the reputation they have now. So our main character actually being a straight up fan, I think will be the thing to keep this ship going. And I'm here for the entire trip, bro. Also, I know he don't got black hair like how Percy has in the books, but it's chill like with Annabeth. And honestly, kinda hyped to see blonde Percy, cause he gives off more of a surfer vibe with the blonde hair, which makes sense since Percy is a son of Poseidon. But yeah, most importantly, I'm here for the character of Percy, so whatever Walker brings to the table, I'm ready for it. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I usually don't like to get hyped for shows, cause I get kinda worried of being disappointed, you know? But with Percy Jackson, I'm gonna forget all of that and just be hyped because there's genuinely lots of awesome castings for this show. So yeah, I think for once I'm gonna be optimistic about a show I'm excited for, and I think that maybe, just maybe, you should be too.